Alright guys, get prepared for an awesome matchup. This should be a very exciting game. This is on the map Python for the MSL round of 16. This is Hwasin versus Bisu. Protoss versus Terran. This should be a very exciting matchup. As you can see, this map is Python and it's a very balanced map. It's a nice map, and overall it has some very fine good games on this map, and they're pretty nice to see and watch. As you see, they have pretty close positions here. As you see, Bisu spawning as the Protoss at 12 o'clock, and Hwasin over here in the yellow at 2 o'clock. So this should be a pretty nice game. We've seen that Bisu is very dominant. He's won the last 2 MSLs. This is the 3rd GomTV MSL. And you see here that looks like Bisu is actually going to fast expand. It's a bit risky on in this matchup because of the fact that Terrans can rush a little bit. But usually it's not that big of a problem unless it's scouted early. So this is going to be good for Bisu, as he's going to be able to get a good economical advantage. Not sure if he's going to get a gateway. Probably a gateway, maybe a forge. And there's the gateway. So right now Hwasin does not know that this is going on. Bisu is going to scout in the wrong direction, and it's probably going to take him a while to get to his opponent's base. And what I'd like to know is Bisu is really good in PvZ. He used to be pretty crappy in PvT, but he's been working on that, and as of late he's been playing very well PvT, and he was able to improve it a lot. So I think he should be able to be very good in this game. This is the second match, and this is the second match of this best of 3, and Hwasin did beat Bisu in the first game. This is the second match, as I forgot to say earlier. Bisu once again scouting in the wrong position, but Bisu is getting his gateway. He has his gateway up, and he is going to get his assimilator. So what I think he's probably going to get a little bit more zealots, and then he's going to go for a little bit later of a dragoon. Probably try and do a little bit early pressure on Hwasin. Hwasin opting for the late barracks so he can get his macro up with as many SCVs as possible. But here comes the first zealot, and Hwasin at this point is unaware that he is going to get rushed. Bisu, by the process of elimination, is able to find out where Hwasin's base is, and Hwasin is going to be pretty screwed over here at this point. He's probably going to have to pull a couple of SCVs, and at this point he's sending out his SCV. He does not see the zealot. Now he sees the zealot, and he's going to be in big trouble if he does not fend this off. There's one Marine out, but it's not going to be able to do much against that zealot. The zealot's a little bit slow, but it's going to chase down these SCVs and these Marines. Second zealot almost out, and this probe is going to be very nice in helping to kill other units. The probe is about to go down, and a couple of SCVs pulled. One SCV goes down. Very nice micro here by Hwasin, using those SCVs to block. But here comes the second zealot, and this is going to be very dangerous for Bisu at this point. More SCVs being pulled, and you see the tech was delayed a little bit by that SCV being killed. One more Marine goes down, and the first zealot does go down. Looks like Bisu is going to have to retreat, but he is trying to delay that factory as much as possible. But the factory does go up, and we see immediately there's a machine shop coming up. A little bit of a hint to, oh my god, 2 Marines go down. They both had low health, and second zealot coming up right now. Hwasin is in very big trouble right now. I don't know if he should have opted to get vultures instead of that machine shop first, but basically this Marine is going to go down very shortly as well. Second zealot is back in, and it did die, but here comes another zealot. And you see here that singularity charge is being upgraded, and at this point Hwasin is in very big trouble. He's losing a lot of resources creating those Marines. His tech was delayed, and overall he's going to be very delayed by this rush. And Hwasin is continuing to pump Marines. He has one factory up, so he was probably opting to do maybe a fake double. But that's probably not that possible at this point, as a Dragoon is coming in. And this is, once again, very bad position for Hwasin. He only has 2 Marines out, and there is a Dragoon right now. That tank is out now, though, so that Zealot is going to be forced to run away, but it is going to die. At this point, Bisu is going to be very ahead at this point, because Hwasin had to create a lot of Marines and he lost a couple of SCVs. And It looks like it was a fake double. Here comes the first vulture. Not sure if mines were upgraded or siege, but here comes the first push. The SCV is there to repair, but it probably will go down. So at this point, Hwasin is deciding this is a good time to push out. He needed those marines anyways, but here comes the command center. So Bisu should be able to fend this off though. Picking off these stray units such as that vulture since it was going a little bit too fast there. But I only see Bisu with 3 dragoons over here, and that's not that much. Mines have been laid, so mines were researched. 1 marine goes down, 2nd dragoon out, and the vulture does go down. Another vulture has arrived. 1 mine goes down. All these, oh my god, Bisu is just totally owning these forces over here. He just killed everything, and taking out that mine before it actually it did do damage, but really nice micro there by Bisu. But Bisu is losing his units carelessly, their health carelessly to those mines. But Bisu is ahead at this point. He did fend off that rush very easily, and he did do a little bit of damage early on in the game as well. And he is going to be able to get his expansion up quite easily. As you saw there, that was a very nice push there by Hwasin. But Bisu managed to micro it very well in picking off those units that he needed to pick it off to make that rush essentially useless. But more vultures out, and they're probably going to lay a couple of mines, try and contain a little bit. But 1 dragoon coming out, and both of them are taking their expansion at this point. So this is probably going to be a pretty macro-oriented game. Both of them are going to try and get as much of an advantage as they can, and then decide to do battle. But here you go, engineering bay coming up, and the 2nd factory is coming up. And something I'd like to note about Bisu is that sometimes he has Dark Templar builds, and this is probably the reason why the engineering bay is coming up. And Bisu does see this, so if he was originally planning to do Dark Templar builds with a shuttle to drop in, he probably won't do it now. Very prominent in the game, the first time he used it was versus Nada, and he used a dropship and totally caught Nada off guard. And we see here that he did have his robotics facility, and I'm not sure if that was an observatory. No, that's a pylon. So he maybe was opting to do that build, but now he is going Reavers. There are going to be turrets up though, because he did see that engineering bay. But Hwasin probably thinks that he can fend it off quite easily anyways. He has a couple of mines planted everywhere as well, probably to fend off Dark Templars, but they also work very well in fending off Reaver drops. Plus 1 tank in the middle can fend off a Reaver drop quite easily, especially with those mines there. And I'm not sure, but it looks like Bisu is opting to expand again. He did send a probe to the top left corner, and if he gets that expansion up, he's going to be very ahead, but he's going to be slightly lacking in forces. You see here that observatory is going up as well, and Hwasin is actually going pretty much mass tanks. This is because they are the ideal counter to mass dragoons, but you see here that Hwasin is, Bisu is going to start getting his zealots out as well. Does not have the Citadel of Adun out yet, but he does have 2 zealots in that shuttle, and the Reaver should be coming out soon. And 2 more factories coming up here. I think that Hwasin, just by intuition, knows that Reavers are going to be coming soon, at least Dark Templars. And here comes the shuttle. But there are 2 turrets there, and they are going to fend off this Reaver. But I think possibly Bisu could do a little bit of damage. He did do damage by forcing Hwasin to make a lot of those turrets. I think this is a really good example of how Bisu controls the game, and he just manipulates his opponent to create all these turrets. And that's something that is really good, because you see here that Hwasin is playing this very safe, and usually if he would play it a little bit more aggressive, it'd put the pressure on Bisu. But Bisu's actually putting the pressure on Hwasin at this point, but he's actually not producing that many units. He's opting for another expansion. You see here that there are vultures pushing out, probably going to try and pick off a couple of stray probes, probably try and rush in and maybe kill a couple of things, but they don't have speed up. It looks like they just got speed upgraded. And 2 more factories coming up. Yes, those vultures do have speed, and they're laying mines everywhere. There's dragoons over here, so they are going to be able to fend off those vultures. I think they only have 1 mine each at this point, but Hwasin only laying 2 mines over there, and Bisu moving his dragoons back, but there's still a large amount of vultures over here, and they're going to take out a lot of those probes. But at this point, the dragoon reinforcements have come in, and Hwasin very nice there. He does scout the expansion. He does kill a lot of probes over there, and that's going to set Bisu back a little even more. Bisu is actually quite ahead at this point. He was just opting to get more probes, as I said earlier. You can see that Hwasin probably does have a little bit more in terms of army, but at this point, Bisu is going to be able to outproduce him with that